Hello everyone. Here I'm going to teach you a topic that is necroptosis, paroptosis and pharoptosis. I hope you have watched my video on apoptosis and necrosis. So these three features are something hybrid between apoptosis and necrosis. All the features neither match with apoptosis, all the features neither match with necrosis, but they are hybrid between the two. So I'm going to teach you three things one by one: necroptosis, paroptosis and pharoptosis. You usually get a short note on them, not the long note. So let's start it. So let's start the topic: necroptosis, paroptosis and pharoptosis one by one. So you have to tell me the introduction of each of them. You have to tell me the differences from apoptosis of each of them, and you have to tell me the mechanism of each of them with a well-labeled diagram. So let's start with the first one, necroptosis, with these three things. Let me tell you necroptosis, everything about the necroptosis. What is necroptosis? Tell me the introduction. Necroptosis, as the name indicates, it is a hybrid between necrosis and apoptosis. Necrosis plus apoptosis is equal to necroptosis. You can see it's a hybrid between the necrosis and apoptosis, but it is considered as a part of necrosis. Actually, it's a programmed cell death. It's a programmed cell death like apoptosis. But in apoptosis, caspase get activated. No, here it is caspase activation is not there. It is caspase independent. So all the things are same as that of apoptosis, but it is caspase independent. So it is caspase independent programmed cell death. That is the definition. It is a hybrid between apoptosis and necrosis. That is the introduction. Now coming on the differences from apoptosis. Can you tell me how I can differentiate necroptosis from apoptosis? How we can differentiate? Four differences are there. Here in apoptosis, caspase are always involved. Here caspase are not involved. Number one. In apoptosis, the cells shrink. Here the cell is swelling like the necrosis. So that is the difference. Cell is swelling, not shrinking. In apoptosis, the membrane remain intact. No leakage, no rupture. Here the cell membrane get ruptured. There is leakage. In apoptosis, no leakage, no inflammation. It's silent. Here leakage is there, inflammation is there. So learn the four features, four differences of apoptosis from necroptosis, which is a hybrid between apoptosis and necrosis. So say here caspase are always involved. Here caspase involvement is not there. Here the cell shrink, and that's why no leakage and no inflammation. Here the cell swells like the necrosis. So leakage is there, inflammation is there. Learn the differences. You get a short note on that. Now tell me the mechanism of necroptosis. How does it occur? You can see the diagram. Better to learn that in the diagram. You can see the antigen is coming and it is activating the TNF, tumor necrotic factor. This TNF receptor, so there is ligation of the TNF, tumor necrotic factor receptor. So first thing, the tumor necrotic receptor get activated. It will lead to activation of RIPK. What is RIPK? RIPK is receptor interacting protein kinase. Receptor interacting protein kinase, RIPK. So RIPK1 get converted to RIPK3. RIPK3. This RIPK3, that is receptor interacting protein kinase, leads to polymerization of MLKL. Normally MLKL is monomer. Now it leads to oligomer. It will form the oligomer. The monomers will form. There is phosphorylation of the monomer which will lead to oligomer formation. This MLKL oligomers will go to the cell membrane and do the cell membrane rupture. Once the cell membrane is ruptured, there is leakage, there is inflammation. So this MLKL oligomers is causing the rupture. So tell me the complete mechanism. The TNF receptor activation takes place. That will lead to activation of membrane interacting protein kinase MIPK1 to MIPK3. This will lead to it's receptor interacting protein kinase. It will lead to activation of MLKL polymerization, oligomers formation, and that will cause the cell rupture. This is the mechanism of necroptosis. Coming on the second one, paroptosis. What is paroptosis? What do you mean by pyro? Pyro means fever. The word pyro means fever. So it is also programmed cell death like the apoptosis, but due to the antimicrobial response which causes fever. So due to the antimicrobial response it is occurring. Here the caspase are involved. But the caspase are not standard caspase which are involved in apoptosis. If you have seen my videos, watched my video on apoptosis, you may have seen the caspase which are involved in extrinsic pathways 8 and 10. The first caspase get activated. And the caspase which are activated in intrinsic pathways, caspase 9. Here caspase 1, 4, 5 and sometimes 11 get activated. Not the standard 8, 9 and 10. No. So it is caspase are involved, but different caspases are involved as compared to normal apoptosis. So what are the differences of paroptosis from apoptosis? Here cell swelling is there, cell damage is there, inflammation is there. in like the necrosis. But here caspase are involved. But caspase involved is 1, 4, 5 and 11, not the standard caspase. So we can say it is a caspase dependent programmed cell death. You got my point? So can you tell me the differences between apoptosis? The last we have seen is necroptosis, and right now I am teaching you is pyroptosis. So can you tell me the differences between them? So three differences are common. Listen. So in apoptosis, the cells shrink, but here in both of them, the cells swell. So here swelling is present. Here cell do not rupture. No leakage, no inflammation. Here leakage is there, inflammation is there. Now you may be thinking, then what is the difference between necroptosis and apoptosis? It is the caspase. What about the caspase? Here caspase are involved. Which caspase? 8, 10 and 9. Extrinsic pathway 8 and 10. Intrinsic pathway 9. Here caspase are not at all involved. No, none of the caspase are involved. Here caspase are again involved, like apoptosis, but it is 1, 4, 5 and 11, not the usual 8, 9, 10. So this is the difference. So can I say, crystal clear concept, can I say necroptosis is programmed cell death which is caspase independent? Yes, caspase independent programmed cell death. And can I say pyroptosis is caspase dependent programmed cell death? Okay, so please learn the differences. If you are learning the differences, it is the definition only. And this one, the pyroptosis, as the name indicates, fever, it occurs in response to antimicrobial therapy. Antimicrobial response. Whenever there is a microbial organism entering in human body, the person have fever, and in response to that, it occurs. So that is the thing. Now coming on the mechanism, how does it occur? So you see here the antigen is there. Who is the antigen? Antigen is usually the flagellin component, which is seen in Salmonella and Shigella. So Salmonella, Shigella and other bacteria which is having flagellin in their structure, that is acting as an antigen. Antigen enters inside and it binds with node-like receptor. Node-like, NLR. Node-like receptor, NLR. So inside the cell there is NLR. So this flagellin component which is present in the bacteria, so only those bacteria which is having the flagellin component, that will activate it. It will go inside and activate the node-like receptor. What does a node-like receptor will do? Node-like receptor will form a inflammasome. Inflammasome will be formed here. That will cause the activation of caspase 145. You can see the activation of caspase 145, not 8, not 10, not 9. Caspase 145. Once the caspase 145 get activated, it causes the activation of interleukin 1. And this interleukin 1 causes the cell rupture, and it will cause the leakage, it will cause the inflammation. So this is the mechanism. So the Salmonella and Shigella, these are the bacteria and other some bacteria which is having flagellin component. That will go inside the cell, bind with node-like receptor. The node-like receptor get activated, and the node-like receptor will lead to the formation of inflammasome. This inflammasome leads to the activation of caspase 1, 4 and 5. And that will lead to activation of interleukin 1, and that will cause the cell rupture. Cell rupture, which will lead to leakage, and that will lead to inflammation. So this is the complete summary in front of you. You have to learn like this. This is the mechanism. Draw the flow chart, draw the diagram. Crystal clear concept. Coming on the third and the last one, that is pyroptosis. As the name indicates, pyro means iron. It is iron dependent. It is dependent on iron. So it is also programmed cell death, but it is dependent on iron. And here there is the accumulation of lipid peroxidase. So what are the differences from apoptosis? This one is dependent on iron. Here also caspase are not involved. This one is dependent on iron. Here there is accumulation of lipid peroxide. And here the master regulator is glutathione peroxidase enzyme. Let me explain you. See the diagram. To understand it, see the diagram. In the diagram, you can see normally in human body, inside the human body from head to toe, we are having many cells. Inside our cells, the iron via Fenton reaction generates reactive oxygen species. Reactive oxygen species. What are reactive oxygen species? Reactive oxygen species are free radical. I hope you have watched my videos on the free radical. Okay, listen, cell injury free radicals. So reactive oxygen species are produced, that is free radical, are produced via Fenton reaction via iron. So iron produce free radical, that is reactive oxygen species. It can be superoxide ion, it can be hydrogen peroxide, it can be hydroxyl ion, and this reactive oxygen species causes the lipid peroxidation inside the cell, and the cell will be damaged, the cell will be dead, the cell will be ruptured because of lipid peroxidase enzyme, lipid peroxidation. Got it? But normally it doesn't happen because the reactive oxygen species which is generated, this one is degraded by glutathione, the enzyme glutathione. Name of the enzyme is glutathione peroxidase. Glutathione peroxidase 4, it will remove the free radicals which are generated here normally. And now here in ferroptosis, what is happening? The glutathione peroxidase is non-functional. So basically the glutathione peroxidase become inactive. So it is not active now. It is not active. Now, whenever the iron is generated inside the cell, the iron will form the reactive oxygen species via Fenton reaction. But normally glutathione peroxidase is present, not as non-functional. So this reactive oxygen species will cause the lipid peroxidation, that will cause the cell death, rupture of the cell, and ferroptosis. So that is the mechanism. So in your exam, if any of them, the short note is coming, please write down the definition of them, write down the differences from apoptosis, and draw the well-labeled diagram and draw the flow chart to show the mechanism. In the mechanism, I want two things, the flow chart with the diagram. In the flow chart and diagram only you will get the marks. So you have to write these three things. So you will get a short note either on necroptosis or pyroptosis or ferroptosis. Sometimes you get the differences between them. So you can do that, I guess. So please, let's revise the mechanism of all three together one by one. Quickly, we will revise. So in necroptosis, what is happening? It is the tumor necrotic factor get activated, TNF. TNF get activated. On activation, it is causing the activation of RIPK. It is receptor interacting protein kinase 1 to receptor interacting protein kinase 3. That is causing the oligomerization of MLKL. MLKL monomer, they will form the oligomer, and that will cause the rupture of the cell. Once the cell is ruptured, there is leakage, there is inflammation. Learn the diagram, draw the flowchart. Coming on the pyroptosis. In pyroptosis, the antigen is Shigella, Salmonella, or other bacteria which is having flagellin component. It will go and bind with node-like receptor. That will form the inflammasome. That will cause the activation of 145, caspase 145, and that will cause the activation of interleukin 1. So interleukin 1 is causing the cell rupture, leakage, and inflammation. On the contrary, the third one and the last one is the ferroptosis. In ferroptosis, here the glutathione peroxidase 4 enzyme get inactivated. Now, since this is inactivated, the reactive oxygen species which are generated via iron in Fenton reaction, there is no one to deactivate them. So this reactive oxygen species causes lipid peroxidation, and lipid peroxidation is causing the cell damage. So one thing is common in all three, the cell get ruptured. The cell get ruptured, which cause leakage and which cause inflammation. That is common in all three. So who is causing cell rupture in each of them? You have to tell me that culprit. So in necroptosis, it is MLKL oligomers that is causing the rupture. In pyroptosis, it is interleukin 1 that is causing the rupture. And in ferroptosis, it is the lipid peroxidation, that is reactive oxygen species, is causing the rupture. So that is the culprit. So I hope I'm crystal clear in my concept. You can draw the well-labeled diagram and you can draw the flowchart in your university exam to get the full marks in that. Don't forget to have a look on the long question, short question, very short question, and MCQs of this topic which are given with the notes and the question bank. Thank you so much.